All right, so this is kind of a recap on complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles. We're going to continue to build on this skill, so I wanted to just make sure we were really, really good with this piece. So this says use the diagram below to answer the questions. It wants us to find angle PCG. So that means we're looking at PCG. It wants us to find this measurement, right? Well, we should know that these two are going to be vertical angles, so we don't even really need to do any math. If this one's 101, then this one's going to be 101. Now, it might ask us, let's see. Yeah, it is going to come down here and ask us to find the value of y. So we're going to go ahead and do the math. But the measure of PCG should just be 101. So let's just double check that real quick. There we go. We got the green dot. Now it wants us to find the measure of y, or what y would equal. So we need to know how to set up that equation. You literally, or I guess I literally just said that y plus 85 is equal to this vertical angle down here, which is 101. So we just set them equal to each other, and then we solve the one-step equation. We have to get y by itself, so we're going to subtract 85 on both sides. Make sure you've got a calculator handy, because there's no reason to make them wrong with just one little subtraction problem. So it gets just 16. So y is going to equal 16. And there we go. Okay, let's look at this next one. This one says find the image below to find the requested values. So it wants the measure of PTY. So PTY is this one here. And it tells us that this is a right triangle. So that means it's going to equal 90, right? So we should know 90 minus 45. That's a complementary angle, right? It means that this is also going to be 45. So we know that that measurement is 45, and then down here it wants us to solve for the value of B. So there's a couple ways we could do that. We could say 7B minus 18 equals 45, since we know that that's what that equals, right? Or if you don't want to do it that way, you could say 7B minus 18 plus this side over here equals the entire angle, which is 90. You could choose either one. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go over here and do this one. So we're going to add 18 to both sides. And that's going to get me 45 plus 18 is 63. And then I have to divide that by 7. So 63 divided by 7 equals 9. Okay. If you wanted to check this one over here, you could do that as well. So we're going to combine like terms. So that would be negative 18 plus 45 is 27. And then subtract the 27. So 90 minus 27 in my calculator gets me 63. And if you notice, that's the exact same thing we had over here. So you could set it up however you choose to do it, but either which way, B is going to equal 9. I like to choose the one with the least amount of steps, so that's where I would go. Okay, this one here, it says find the requested values. So it wants the measure of YBG. So YBG is here. Okay, so hopefully we know that this is called a supplementary angle, right? It's going to equal 180. And we know if this piece is 149, we can just do 180 minus 149, and that gets us 31. So we can just put that in here, 31. And then it wants the value of H. So I would just go with the easiest piece, which is that right there. H plus 22 equals 31. And we're going to subtract the 22. And it gets us H equals 9. Okay. Let's see what else we see here. Again, this one equals 90. So I would just go ahead and put 90 minus the 39, and it'll tell us what this other angle equals, which is 51. So this arc equals 51. And then it wants us to solve for F. So we would do F plus 49 equals 51. And we're going to subtract the 49. So F equals 2. Okay, so that means that the measure of HRM was 51. And the variable was 2. Okay, this one here, it says use the diagram to answer the questions. What is the measure of YDM? So YDM, it wants to know the measure of this piece here. And again, these are vertical angles, right? So it's going to be 4B plus 167 equals 143. And then just solve that. So we're going to subtract 167. So 143 minus 167 equals negative 24. And then divide by 4. So B is going to equal negative 6. But again, these are vertical angles. So the whole thing, YDM, measures 143. Oops. And then the value of B was negative 6. Okay. So just pay attention to if we are setting up as vertical, complementary, or supplementary. So again, this one here is 180. So I'm going to take 180 minus the 56. And that gets us 124 as a total. So this piece right here is 124. And then it wants us to solve for G. So 2G plus 110 equals a total of 124. Subtract 110. Gets us 2G equals 124 minus 110 is 14. And then divide by 2 gets us G equals 7. Okay, so if you have any questions, you want to schedule a time to meet up, let me know. But just make sure you're paying attention to if it equals complementary, which is this one, which is 90 degrees, supplementary, which is a straight line, or if they're vertical to each other.